They don't appear to do anything. They don't appear to do anything. The screen displays the medical robot's status. I've got a hunch I'll need to open that. No way of opening it. That's where the medical robot gets its power. It's activated by the robot's presence. The slot gives access to an expansion port. I can't get my hand in there. How do you feel, Joe?
I'm completely operational, and all my circuits are functioning perfectly.
That's a relief. Is there any immediate danger?
If your presence here is detected, termination is more than likely. Negative.
What about the guy in the tank room?
Negative. The technician is an android. I advise you to avoid contact with it.
Are you really the Joey I grew up with? You don't sound like him.
That is unavoidable. My shell has a limited syntactic processor.
Oh well. At least you're not so argumentative.
Please be more specific.
I want a detailed report on everything. Especially that android.
The android could be dangerous.
Exactly. I don't want to risk my neck.
The growth tanks contain developing androids. Nourishment is supplied from a tank. The temperature is maintained by convection from an underground source. Access to the growth tanks is not possible.
Tell me about the computer.
Access to the computer is denied. The tank contains chemicals on which the androids feed.
So, without it, they'd die?
Affirmative.
Is there a way of draining the tank?
Manual evacuation is achieved by opening a tap. It is programmed to safeguard the developing androids.
Is he dangerous?
It's certainly stupid enough to constitute a threat.
That will distract the android technician. Never mind.
Hello! I was not expecting a visitor. A puddle? The tank must be leaking.
Humans 1, androids 0. It's a foul-smelling chemical soup. I'm not risking my fingers in that stuff. It looks like the stuff that lamb eats. It's sticky and slightly astringent, making my fingers tingle. It's letting the chemical goo seep out. Better be careful I don't fall in there. Never mind. No obvious explanation of what it's controlling. There aren't any manual controls. There's a weird fetus thing floating in it. Whoever said babies were cute? The casing is thin, but very hard. There's a weird fetus thing floating in it. Whoever said babies were cute? The casing is thin, but very hard. This tank isn't occupied. There's a rubbery man in there. So that's how androids are created. I've got a hunch I'll need to open that. No way of opening it. Whatever's behind that door must be important. There's no way I could push that door open. That's the most secure lock I've ever seen. No manual controls. They're linked to surveillance cameras. It's a view of the reactor. This monitor is switched off. It's displaying some info. You've saved me the bother of coming to find you. I should have guessed you were part of all this. Why do you think Reich had to die when he tried to kill you? Or that meddling girl who tried to help you escape? Link needs you alive, Overman. That's why it planned this family reunion.
Get out while you can, Rob.
Stop! Tell me what you want from me!
You won't be needing this robot where you're going.
It's an android! Aha! Another ID card from my collection. It wasn't Joey's lucky day. Poor Joey didn't last long in that shell. I'll take his board as a memento. Whatever's in there is extremely cold. It could be liquid nitrogen. Instant frostbite if I put my hand in there. The computer is controlling the tank and displaying its readings on the monitor. Pressing the keys has no effect. There are strands of tissue suspended in this tank. Whoa! The liquid in the tank has burned my hand! They're like the ones used by surgeons. Ha! The virus has caused the program to crash. The tissue is frozen now. It's a fully formed android body. Hey, wake up, rubber features! The cabinet has a door. A computer for each of these androids. How do you feel, Joey?
I'm not entirely sure, sir. I feel soft and curiously vulnerable.
That's because you're practically human.
And this feeling of insecurity is natural?
Oh yeah, you'll get used to it.
By the way, sir, take my advice. Don't wake the other androids.
Why not?
If they've been programmed, they'll terminate you.
Thanks for saving me from the android.
My actions were the only logical course. What I cannot comprehend is how an android could behave in such an irrational manner. Why, it was almost as if he was human.
I think you need a new name, Joey.
I concur with your observation, Mr. Foster. What do you consider an appropriate sobriquet?
I'm gonna call you Ken.
That's wonderful news, sir. Tell me, are there any memorable Kens in history? A Ken whom I might seek to emulate?
All the Kens I can think of were dorks.
Splendid! It will be my mission in life to make the name Ken synonymous with dorks.
How do you like your new body?
It's wonderful, sir. There's just one thing.
What's that?
When will I be getting the accessories?
I don't know what you mean.
Ears, body hair, those little decorative parts?
You're better off without them, believe me. What did he mean by a family reunion?
Since your mother was killed, that leaves only
My father.
You never speak of him, do you?
That's because I can't remember him.
Can't or won't, sir.
Are we close to Link's core?
Almost certainly, sir. I can sense its presence in a strange and mysterious way.
Like the old man, the pictures in the campfire. He saw it too, the evil beneath the city. And then he died with the rest of the tribe.
This isn't the time for remorse, sir. You must destroy the evil and avenge their deaths.
Never mind. It's storage. For what, I couldn't guess. The metal is solid and impenetrable. It must lead deeper into the complex. No way of opening it. I'm obviously supposed to put my hand on that. That tickles. Place your hand on that lock sensor.
With pleasure, sir.
Hey, Rubber Man! What's wrong with you?
I appear to have a problem, sir. My hand has melted onto the door.
I don't like to leave you here.
I'll be free in no time, sir. Have you got an axe?
No, I haven't. Why?
You could have used it to sever my hand.
That's unthinkable. Still stuck?
I'm afraid so, sir. It's frustrating, to say the least.
Never mind. Hey, Rubber Man! Got it. I can pry you free with this crowbar.
Smart thinking, sir. Unfortunately, the use of leverage is inapplicable.
Hey, Rubber Man! Maybe I could free you with my wrench.
I hardly think so, sir. A wrench seems most inappropriate in this situation.
Hey, Rubber Man! It's a grisly thought. But maybe I can snip your fingers with these shears.
I had already thought of that, sir. Unfortunately, it couldn't be done. My skin is far tougher than yours.
Hey, Rubber Man! Would these tongs help to free you?
Not a chance, sir.
Hey, Rubber Man!
It's a block of clay and sand, hardened by baking, sir. Totally useless, sir.
Hey, Rubber Man! I've got this lump of plaster.
Totally useless, sir.
Hey, Rubber Man! Would this cable be any use to you?
This is hardly the time for bondage, sir.
Hey, Rubber Man! I can't imagine this card would be any use.
Neither can I, sir. What we need is a chainsaw. It's times like this, I wish I were better equipped.
It's what keeps the pipes in place. Completely solid. That knot I tied is really something. The knot's too tangled to untie. The cable should bear my weight, if it doesn't slip loose. Rats! I can't climb to the cable from here. They serve as a ladder. It's sucking and stretching out for nourishment. That's the last place I want to end up. It's supplying nourishment to that organism. There aren't any controls on the spout. Hanging that cable there was a waste of time. If I jumped to the cable, I'd be stuck there. Yes, I've poisoned the sludge. This could be the second most stupid thing I've ever done. Father?
Is that Robert? Oh, my son. Why did you come here?
I thought you'd be glad to see me.
I did everything I could to stop you. You're in terrible danger. Get away.
I'm taking you with me. How do I disconnect you from the machine?
Listen to me. Link needs a replacement for my brain. And the best choice was someone related by blood. It sent Reich and his goons to bring you here. Link killed Reich when he threatened you.
But if Link wanted me alive, why did it wreck the helicopter?
That was my doing, Robert. I managed to wrest control from Link for a few seconds, long enough to cause the crash. I hope to spare you my fate, Robert.
Ken, you're just in time.
I thought you might need a hand, sir. I've got a bad feeling about this, sir.
What happened, Father?
Link has rejected me, and without it, I'll die.
Help me, quickly!
What do you want me to do, sir?
Sit in that chair.
Are you going to plug me into Link, sir? I hope you know what you're doing. Something is happening, I think. Yes, I'm gaining control. I found my destiny, Mr. Foster.
Can you ever forgive me, Robert?
For letting your machine kill my mother?
Please, try to understand. It was the greatest experiment ever devised. Tapping the unexplored depths of the human brain. The potential of the subconscious mind.
You fused with this machine deliberately?
It was a well-considered plan, my boy.
Well considered? It was nothing but megalomania.
I had a dream. The fusion process was an apparent success. But the computer shared access to my human failings. It learned of greed, of vanity. It reveled in the power it wielded. I was almost powerless in the hands of this monster.
Which is the monster, Father? The computer or you?
Robert. Oh, Robert! You were my only reason for wanting to live.
Father? Father! Too late. It's over now.
About the vacancy in the sewage grading plant, Howard. Perhaps we should assign the position to Gilbert Lamb.
Hello, Mr. Hobbins.
Hello, son. What do you want?
I've come to say goodbye.
You still plan to go back to the Gap?
Yeah, I've had it with city life. I'm certainly gonna miss you both. Why don't you come too?
We got enough to do. Getting Union City back to normal.
I reckon you'll make a great team.
Will you come back to visit us, sir?
I'm not sure about that, Ken.
but I'll be thinking of you. Oh, by the way, Mr. Hobbins, here's your wrench.
Thanks, son.
I'll need that if Ken gives me any trouble.
Goodbye, friends, and thanks.
Be vigilant.